and welcome back to the channel. Today we start our new adventure on Football Manager 2022. The full game has now been released and we are going to attempt something that is going to be quite challenging. We're going to try and win the Champions League with every single previous winner of the competition, including the team that you can probably see behind me, Steaua Bucharest. That's where we're going to start. But before we get into it, if you're looking forward to the series, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on so that you get my videos as soon as they come out. And I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be very difficult. I didn't realise Steaua Bucharest are in the second tier of Romanian football, but they apparently are. So I think that's probably the most difficult place to start. I had initially thought that it would have been either Nottingham Forest or Hamburg that would be more difficult to start, but with Steaua being in the second tier of Romanian football, that has to be the starting point. Also, before getting into the start of this new save, I just want to say thank you to everyone for the support on the Inter Milan save on the beta version of the game. I really appreciate all the support and everyone that's come along for the ride. I hope you enjoy the new series. It's going to be a big challenge, but it's one that I'm looking forward to. So here is the news item. I've officially been confirmed as manager of Steaua Bucharest on a very sizable wage decrease from the Inter Milan save of £375 per week on a one-year deal. Now, we're predicted to finish first, top of the second tier of Romanian football, which is good for me because that means that we're going to have more of a chance to get in the Champions League, of course, next season. Now, if any of you watching are aware of the recent history of Steaua Bucharest, I'd be really interested to know, because I find it interesting that it says here that they won Liga 3 in 2021. Have they had some sort of massive fall from grace that I'm just not aware of? Because that is madness. I remember them being in the regulars in the Champions League. So if you're aware, please let me know a bit more on Steaua Bucharest. So this is my team report, or the coach's report of the best 11 at Steaua Bucharest. I'm not going to know any of the players, but we'll just have a look at them, see how their attributes line up. We don't have a transfer budget at all for this first season. We've got a wage budget of about $8,000, so there's not going to be any big name signings coming to Bucharest anytime soon. But this guy's our first choice goalkeeper. He looks okay. His handling could be a bit better, but I guess these are probably decent attributes for the second tier of Romanian football. One thing I am noticing is we seem to have a very aging squad. 38-year-old centre midfielder alongside a 35-year-old, I should say defensive midfielder, not centre midfielder. I'm pretty sure a few of the defenders were quite old as well. Popper's 32. And Shianu, he's only 26. He looks pretty okay as well. Good crossing and dribbling on him. Zaharia's 31, but looks pretty okay. And then Bogdan Chepeliu, he's only 28. I think we've got an okay side. I think we've got a side that's probably good enough to get us out of the second tier of Romanian football. Now, here is the club vision from the chairman. So they want us to sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. I can understand why, given how old the side is currently. They want us to work within the wage budget, of course, to finish in the top 6 places in Liga 2 in the first season, and to reach the 5th round as a minimum. Now, the media are predicting us to finish top of Liga 2, so I'd quite like to do that. And that would, of course, help us get a step closer to being able to play Champions League football for Bucharest. This is going to be a very long-term start to this save, I'm guessing, as it's going to take a while to get Steaua Bucharest up to being quality enough to win the Champions League. More long-term, it's just working towards gaining promotion to the top tier and then winning promotion and then looking to build on that. But I would like to do that sooner than the planned 2023-24 season for promotion. So I have set my reputation to the reputation and coaching badges recommended for a manager of Steaua Bucharest. So I've got a Continental A license and I've got the previous playing experience of professional footballer at a local level. So you can see I've got no caps, no goals. So it is going to be difficult. We're going to have to build ourselves up from this position. Hopefully not lose a job, because it's probably going to be quite difficult if I lose a job at Steaua Bucharest in the second tier of Romanian football to get a job at one of the other Champions League winners from the past. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Now, we will create a tactic, but as happened at the start of the Inter save, this will probably all change. but we'll just see what the assistant coaches and stuff are recommending to us. So they're saying wing play, route one, or park the bus. Not a fan of two of those, so we'll go with wing play. We'll choose a formation. They think 4-4-2, classic 4-4-2 formation is most suitable. So I'll quickly have a look at what we're working with in terms of star ratings as well. So Raul Balbarao is on loan from Petrosport Ploiesti. Don't know who they are, but he's apparently our best goalkeeper. And I'll just quickly pick the rest of the players. We've got a decent centre-back pairing. They are quite old, but still decent. Okay, so this is apparently our strongest side. I can already see that we do need to try and get some better players in at left wing, left back, and in goal, possibly even right back as well. But it's a decent enough side based on the star ratings. Like I say, I will probably create my own tactic. I'm probably not going to be able to do a pressing tactic, which is what I was using for the Inter save. I might have to actually play a style of football that I don't really like very much with route one. I imagine that might be quite successful in this tier of football, but I'll go more in depth in what my tactics are going to be come the start of the next episode where we actually play a game. So we'll confirm the club vision that we went through before. I couldn't change anything. I was wanting to change something for the end of this current season to hopefully get us to just aim for promotion, but that wasn't available. I thought I might increase our transfer budget as well, but I couldn't do that, so we'll leave that. And looking at the club, we have a balance of £4,000. That's pretty terrible. Transfer budget of 0. Wage budget, we're currently spending our entire wage budget. I don't know what to do here. I don't know what we can do to help things out. We need to have a look at the youth team, I guess. So we've got an under-19 squad. Let's have a look at their potential. We've got this guy, Darius Orion. He looks like he could be a bit of a player in the future, right back. Tackling of 11 is mainly his standout attribute. He's got good physicals though. He can play down the right side. Ideally, we need a left back. So I'm not sure whether he'll be able to be retrained as one. He's right-footed, but that wouldn't necessarily stop him from becoming a left back because he can always cut inside. But I don't know. It's one to keep an eye on. Other standout players, we've got a 16-year-old attacking midfielder, Claudio Donos. He's a right or left winger. If you can play left side of midfield, which could be handy because that is an area that we need to improve on. So he is one to keep an eye on as well, I would say. And then we've got Mario Enache, or Enache, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but he's a goalkeeper. He's got promising potential, possibly. He's only a star behind our current starting goalkeeper, so he could be one to keep an eye on as well. Apparently we're taking part in, I should say, a pre-season training camp in our hometown of Bucharest, and we'll be playing teams such as CSKA Sofia, Dunav, and Pirin Blagoevgrad. Some of these pronunciations are going to be a struggle for me in this save, but we'll give it a go. It's all new to me, Romania. On the positive side, we don't have any injuries at the moment, so that is always good. I do want to have a look at possible loan signings. I don't know where from. I don't know what level of player we're going to be able to get on loan. We'll see who is interested in us. I can't imagine there's many top tier players interested. As predicted, not really any top quality players coming up on this search so far. We're going to have to set some scouting out. Although Raul Baiku could be decent, but we don't play a right winger, so that's not going to help actually. Okay, we found an interesting Ghanaian national. He plays for FC Hermannstadt, who are in the third tier of, I'm assuming this is still in Romania. FC Hermannstadt, are you in Romania? Yeah, so they are a Romanian side, but he's a left back. He's rated here as a 2.5 star left back, which I think would be a slight improvement on our current left back. His tackling is between 13 and 20, which is an excellent attribute on its own. But his marking could be between 7 and 13, and his heading is between 8 and 16, which is pretty good. So we're gonna send someone to go and scout him. He is listed for loan, so we could possibly not have to pay any of his wages, What's he on? He's on £275 a week. Hopefully Hermannstadt would be able to pay that. Mario Saldescu as well, an 18-year-old goalkeeper. He could be an improvement on our current goalkeeper. He's currently contracted to Concordia Chiajna, who are in the same league as us in Romania, but I think he is also listed for loan. So we could just scour the loan markets, I think. But we'll go into more detail on what we've done there in the next episode. This one's just an introduction to Steaua Bucharest for the time being. Looking at the staff, and we have a pretty good coaching team in comparison to the rest of the teams in our division. We are slightly overstaffed in terms of coaches compared to what the board would like with 6, but I'm not going to do anything about that because I'd rather have more than less. We do have space for some performance analysts, but they're not really going to do much to these levels on the coaching team. But I don't think much needs to be done, to be fair. It's just the fitness, mental and technical, and a bit of man management that needs to be improved, but everything else is pretty good. On the recruitment side of things, though, we are lacking. We don't have a director of football. We don't have scouts. We don't have a chief scout. I need to get some of those in. Medical team, we don't have a head physio, and we have pretty poor physio, to be fair, at the minute. So I think I'm going to have to possibly look at changing our physio. Competition-wise, we are expected to finish in the top 6 places of the second tier. There's 20 teams. This looks complicated. So someone's been deducted 14 points, so they're already out of the equation. But we've got, 14 teams down here that are... Does the league split? I need to learn the rules. Okay, so we need to finish in the top 6 so that we can go into the Champions playoff. Otherwise, we go into the relegation group. So there are 19 games in the first stage of this competition. Play each other once. Then if we're successful and we finish in the top 6, there are 10 more games where we play each of the teams twice and can get promotion by finishing either first or second, or by winning a playoff from finishing either third and fourth. What we don't want is to be in the relegation group. I'm slightly confused by this relegation group. So again, if anyone has a knowledge of Romanian football, please let me know how this system works, because it said there's 14 teams in this relegation group, but there's only 6 games, and this thing here is only showing me seven teams, with the bottom 2 teams getting relegated and the third bottom team playing a relegation playoff final. So please help me understand this, because it's confusing me a little bit. But ideally, the place we want to be is in the Champions playoff, and hopefully in one of these top 4 places come the end of the season. So of course, with this being a Champions League focused save, most of the games as we get on through the series will be the Champions League games. But obviously, because Steaua Bucharest are not in the Champions League, we will be focusing on the league for these first few seasons until we can get into Europe's top table. So next episode, we'll be playing our first game of life as Steaua Bucharest manager, and it's against a team called, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but I'll try. It's Dunăre Calarași, who, what have they done with themselves in the past? Founded in 1920, so they're not a young club at all. Let's have a look at the history. They've gotten into the top tier once in the past 20 years or so. They finished 13th and got relegated straight away. So not much success, but they've won this league at least once. But yeah, I think that's it for this introductory episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to get all my content when it comes out. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're looking forward to the series. And I will see you next time for our first game in charge of Steaua Bucharest, and probably some loan signings too.